It's so cringy. Okay, hi everybody. I have 3 projects that I never got around to finishing. One of them I'm never going to finish, but 2 of them I'm going to finish today. The other one I am going to take apart because I just didn't like it. And it's not that it's not cute. I really like the stitch. I can't remember the name of the stitch. Yeah, like it's super cute, you know? It's really pretty. I just don't like it as a scarf. So I'm gonna undo that. Maybe if it was longer and thinner, it would have been cuter. But like, I don't know. I just didn't really dig it. So we're gonna undo this. And while I undo this, I'll show you the other projects I haven't finished. So this one, thankfully, has only been sitting in my yarn pile since November. These other ones, however, this has been sitting in there for 3 years. This was my second ever crochet project. It has a twin though that I did finish, and that was for my sister. And so I'm gonna finally finish mine. So I just have to do the green top. And then I'm also gonna use the same green to make this string of pearl little basket that I started. I just wanted to do like a few strings of pearls. So yeah, I started this one a year ago. I'll finish this little string of pearls today, finish the pineapple, and have a new yarn ball for a new project. Okay, so maybe you're wondering, Midori, why on earth did you even record this video? I don't want to watch you complete your long abandoned crochet projects. Let me give you a little backstory of why I was even inspired in the first place. So I grew up in a home where big dreams and projects were said out loud and often, but these plans never reached completion and the dreams were abandoned. And as an adult, I began to hear the same thing coming out of my mouth. My big dreams, but never having the capacity to work towards them. And quite frankly, I was intimidated by the process and I had a fear of failure. Finally, I had enough of the life I was living. I was depressed, burned out, so I slowly started reaching for my dreams. So maybe these projects being completed doesn't seem like a big deal to you, but finishing the projects I start, or in this case, fully abandoning a project I didn't care for, is a step in the direction I know I need to go in order to heal my relationship with my own self expression and creative process. And here's the thing, I always viewed my creativity through a consumerist lens, that my work was only valuable if someone wanted to purchase it. Eventually, I would only create for the other people's pleasure and not for the sake of creating. It honestly was very confusing as a young adult trying to figure out how I was going to survive in this system. And I am still healing the twisted notion that my ability to create needs to result in some sort of transaction. But maybe documenting this process will give me a new viewpoint of my own creativity. Done with the first project is undoing a project that I'm not going to finish. It was just taking up space in my yarn basket. So I think I'm going to do the pineapple one because I've already done it before, so I know what I'm doing. I'm working on my posture. Another thing that I've noticed during this process is just because something feels normal doesn't make it so. So just because I've normalized abandoning my dreams and my projects, and I come from family that abandons projects and dreams, it doesn't mean I should continue that pattern. In fact, maybe it's time it's broken. 4 large leaves are done. So I have my little pineapple dude, and I have my small leaves, which I'm going to start with my small leaves. And then I'm just going to start weaving these little bad boys in. So I'm just sewing them in. Okay, look it. He's got one little hair. So cute. I'm so excited for this one to be done. You have no idea. This is 3 years in the making. I began this channel as a way to not only dabble in a new way of expression, explore my creative processes, but to document this journey. And I gotta say, it's anything but easy or simple. One of my biggest challenges lately is that because I know I'm on the right path, I psych myself out with the thought that it should feel good all of the time and that I won't feel like an imposter. But that is just not true. I feel like an imposter. But the only cure to that is to continue to show up, which leads me to my next challenge. This takes consistency, and sometimes that feels out of reach. When I am in my more depressive episodes and life is lifing, I tend to need more rest and my habit of escaping arises. So I'm here as a baby YouTuber letting you know that this is a challenge, but I'm going to keep showing up even if my video comes out later than I had planned. Or if no one watches it, I am still going to show up. He's looking cute. He's looking dapper. Unlike the pineapple, I am looking like a gargoyle sitting here. But let me tell you, this dinette cushion is perhaps the worst cushion to ever exist on this planet. And sitting here for long periods of time makes my back just light on fire, and I'm just in a world of pain. So the cushion does help my pain level, and I can last a little bit longer in my crochet pursuits. Speaking of crochet pursuits, I really thought I would finish all 3 of these projects in one day, but alas, here we are. Sometimes projects take longer than you think that they're going to take. Well, here we are. Project number 3, string of pearls. Sounds like it would be such a lovely, quick project of making succulents. Wrong, wrong, wrong. I wish I could tell you how many times I was wrong. There was so many lessons in this one, and I don't think I mentioned this, but I am still, in my head, a beginner crocheter. I started 3 years ago, but I think I made like 3 projects in my first year. So then I had to, relearn every time I crocheted a project. But anyway, that is besides the point. I ended up choosing a yarn, though great for the pineapple was the wrong yarn for this project. Yarning over 11 times and pulling your yarn through, yeah, not gonna happen. It split like crazy. I really think AI made this because this is just like not cute. I had to go up a hook size just so I could get it back through. This is literally my string of pearl. I can't continue with that. And maybe I just don't have the skill. It's very possible that I just like don't have the skill for this project, or it was made by AI. I'm not entirely certain. So I have to figure out a different succulent to put in this. I can't do the string of pearls. So that's unfortunate. I don't know that I'm doing this right. As much as I want to keep going, I have this problem where I ignore my bodily functions and just keep going because I don't know when to stop. Yeah, mine looks not like a leaf, so yeah, I'm undoing this, unfortunately.
Today we're going to be making a crochet succulent.
I thought this was
Hi, I'm
AI
Rosanna, the artist and designer
pattern.
behind Moira Crochet, and for today's tutorial...
Okay, so I'm getting near the end here. And when I say I'm near the end, I'm probably not quite there yet, but I have this full of like fluff, and I added some rocks in there to make it a little bit weighted. And then I have these guys that I'm going to start sewing in, these little strings here. I'm like so proud of the progress that I made on this. I honestly was like, I'm gonna have to give up. I'm just gonna have this like little empty bowl. But I started sewing this in, but I didn't finish it because I wanted to be able to sew it shut and hide all of my thread underneath. Okay, so I left this process intentionally chaotic because this project was genuinely chaos. I had several crash outs, convinced this pattern was written by AI, when in fact I was misunderstanding the directions and using a difficult yarn for this specific project. So in fact, this project was fairly simple once I figured out what I was doing. But that is just the reality when you are learning how to do something new. So I finally, after 3 years, finished Penelope the pineapple. Isn't she cute? I was talking with my sister. Yeah, I was like, look, I finally finished the pineapple. And she starts laughing. And I hadn't seen hers in a long time. She lives in Philadelphia, so I don't really get to see it. Clearly, I didn't know what I was doing because the top is so So I'm so wrong. I'll include a picture so you can see. But it's just cool to see like how far I've come on this journey. Even though this took me 3 years to complete, I'm like so happy that it's done, and it's so cute, and I love just looking at it and sitting up there. If you have some projects that you haven't finished, maybe this will inspire you to finish, because I am just like, ah, so cute, so cute. And then the other project that I finally finished is this succulent string of pearls for my friend. This took me 2 years. I started this basket 2 years ago and finally finished. Super cute. Really love how it turned out. I think it's beautiful. I did add some like little rocks in here, so it's nice and weighted. If my friend wants to like sit it somewhere, she's got a cat, so that way it doesn't fall. I'm not sure if I want to like crochet in like a little hanger to hang, but it's just not very big, so I just thought it would be just cute, like just sitting somewhere. So cute. But yeah, that is it. If you liked this content, I have other projects that I haven't finished, not in crochet, but I have some beaded projects that I haven't finished. So if you would like to see some of that content, and I have one of these. So I've made this years ago, and it's just like a lovely like fidget toy. And yeah, I have one that's in progress, that's been in progress for a year and a half now. So I could finish that one. I just haven't gotten to it because it's very time consuming, but it's so worth it. Like, I love this. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, let me know in the comments. If you want to follow along on this journey with me as I kind of reconnect with like my creative side and allow myself the space on here to grow in new ways, hit subscribe. I would love to have you. I am super grateful for the 10 people that have subscribed. Honestly, this has been my first month doing YouTube videos, and the fact that like 10 people hit subscribe is really amazing to me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. I'm really excited. So yeah, until next time, peace.